Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Today I'm going to be going over some unwritten rules for Fallout 76. So if you find anything helpful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Alright, so I asked around, and these aren't going to be in really particular order from least to greatest, but they're pretty much going to be other people's opinions and things other people have pretty much told me what they feel like their unwritten rules are and what other people should be aware of. So let's get right into them. The number one is basically don't go AFK at a vendor. I had someone recently go AFK at mine, and they sat there for a solid 30 minutes not moving, and I couldn't really do anything about it. I have two vendors, fortunately, but yeah, they're just pretty much sitting there and in the way pretty much. So if you go to someone else's vendor, and this goes for, normal, like if you're at a legendary exchange for script, whatever, don't just sit there for 10-15 minutes in the menu not doing anything. Let other people have a turn, and if you're going to be AFK, then just go AFK in your base. So this next one is a pretty big one. I've had a lot of people do this actually, and it's pretty annoying, especially with the meat week that just ended during the event. A lot of people would just be AFKing, not even helping out. So another thing, don't start events unless you're actually able to solo the event. For example, like Radiation Rumble, try and wait for everybody to gather up. Don't, like Encrypted, don't start it right away. And then you have no help, and then the event fails because you couldn't complete it. So try to wait for everybody, especially for group events. Those are the big ones that, a lot of people don't really know what the actual event is. And so they go run into it, start it, or they talk to the person they're supposed to talk to for the event, and they start it with like 3, maybe even like 4 people there. And if the 4 people don't even know how to do it, then that kind of defeats the whole purpose. The whole event fails, and that's just unfortunate. This next one is pretty important. A lot of people might not know about it, but if you have any type of camp resource that's locked, obviously they don't want you, taking the resource, whatever it may be, water, oil, junk, whatever. But if it's unlocked, then it's pretty much a free-for-all. If they didn't want you to take it, they would lock it. And it regenerates pretty fast, so, worst case scenario, you go take some of their stuff, it'll just regenerate. It's not that big of a deal, especially if you see a lot of like water purifiers stacked up together, like the vintage water coolers. You get purified water if they're, like I said, they have a bunch of water purifiers in a small lake, river, whatever, and they're unlocked. Just go get what you need. Obviously, don't collect it all. Leave some for other people, for them even, but just get what you need. And that's pretty much it. If it's unlocked, go for it. Alright, so one other thing back to the events. I've seen a lot of people like at, for example, a Colossal Problem. That's a pretty hard event. Obviously, you're fighting the boss, and it takes a while. It takes a lot of ammo, and it takes a lot of teamwork, basically. I've seen a lot of people where they get downed and nobody revives them. Obviously you want as many people there helping out, doing damage and taking out all the other, Wendigos in the area. And every time somebody goes down, I feel like not enough people actually go and revive them, help them up. They just walk right over them. Obviously, if they're in a pretty tough area, you can't get to them, then that's understandable. But in any other event, like fighting the Scorch Beast Queen during a nuke event or whatever, you obviously want to go try and help people up. I've seen plenty of times where a lot of people just kind of run by and they don't really try to even pick anybody up. You can always respawn, but the more you die, your respawn timer goes up, I think like up to a minute. So, it's kind of unfortunate for the people who are downed and don't get revived. So again, just help everybody out, especially if they're a little bit lower level. This next one, you know, sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people, you know, I've run into that aren't nice. You know, pretty much just try to be nice to everybody. It's one of those games where the community is pretty good. Every now and then, obviously, you run into somebody who's, you know, kind of toxic, or they just try to, you know, annoy you. Don't worry about it. Just hop servers. They're not going to follow you. Most likely, they won't. So whenever you find a player vendor that has a bunch of cheap items in it, for example, I have a bunch of things in mine that are pretty cheap. I make all my chems for like 5 caps each. Even, you know, stim packs, super stim packs, berry mintax, you know, orange, whatever, you know, all of those. I make everything for 5 caps each, sometimes even 1, if I just have a lot of stuff. And my main goal, even my ammo, I put it for 1 each. It doesn't matter what it is, it's always 1 cap. My main goal is mainly for lower level players to actually go there and be able to buy the things and afford them. I've had a level 800 something going, completely clear out my vault or my vendor. And, you know, yeah, I understand it. You know, I'm making caps either way, but really it's meant for the lower level players. Just so that, you know, they might not have a lot of caps, maybe 2,000-3,000. So really just for them to go shop there first. Obviously, you know, if you want a plan, take it. You know, don't feel bad that you're taking it, but try to let the lower level players get things first. Alright, so on the daily ops missions, I've had this happen quite a few times actually, where, you know, you'll go into the daily op mission and one person will just AFK the entire mission. You know, they'll move forward a little bit, pretend they're gonna get ready and get, you know, help each other out, and they just sit there and don't do anything. They're just basically trying to get the mission for free without helping, which is kind of, you know, grimy move in my opinion. So like I said, you know, don't be that guy. Just try to help out. You know, you can clear it in like 5-6 minutes. They're not hard at all. They're pretty easy. So, you know, just help the team out and you'll get done a lot faster. One of the more annoying things, really, not really too important, but like I said, it's kind of annoying, is whenever people go to your base and they open all your doors and run off. You know, obviously it isn't too big of an issue, but depending where you're at, where your camp's set up, some enemies can go inside and, you know, Scorch or whatever, ghouls can go inside and, you know, attack you from behind. You're busy, you know, crafting, whatever. So just make sure and close people's doors. You know, don't be that guy that leaves the door open and roaches come in. Alright, so last but not least, pretty much a bonus rule, if you want to call it. Not really a rule, but, you know, pretty much you want to try to give back. Obviously, you know, we were all low level players even at one point, so, you know, you want to try and give it back as much as you can. I try to give back to new players, you know, when I see them fresh out of the vault, wearing the vault suit. I try to drop them, you know, a bunch of resources, plans, chems, you name it, weapons, armor, whatever. You know, I just try to drop it for them. And if I can't find anybody, I'll leave it in different donation boxes at train stations, at the Wayward, there at the vault, right below it. So, you know, just really utilize the donation boxes. They're there for a reason. And, you know, as a new player, I definitely took advantage of it. And so now I give back to it. It's kind of, you know, revolving cycle. So just try to be nice, give back to the newer players, and, you know, maybe we'll keep them around for a little bit. So that brings us to the end of the video. Like I said in the beginning, if you found anything helpful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.